Hello everybody, welcome to day 4 of Grounded Joyful Energy. This has been the most fun week. I've enjoyed every day sharing different tools, which I'm calling them blissciplines, because all of these tools, Monday we danced, Tuesday you learned how to use heart math, 2 different kinds of meditation. Yesterday, how to start and end your day, to create a container for your day, and today something really special, which is tapping in resources. So all of these things that I'm sharing with you are to help you return to your true nature. Thank you for the hearts. Hi, Marlissa. I'm just waiting for others to come, so I'm going to say hi to you now. So each of these I call blissciplines. It's different than discipline because a lot of times we think of discipline as harsh, but a blisscipline is a practice that you do. You're dedicated to your own bliss. You're dedicated to bringing yourself back to your true nature, which is bliss. And I call bliss the natural way of feeling joyful, centered, grounded, peaceful, powerful, wise, your true nature. So that's why I'm sharing all of this with all of you. And you'll see in the notes above, when we finish the recording today, that I've decided, I already had this in my mind, but after this week, I'm absolutely sure, hi Linda Kay, that what I'm going to do is to continue on with these practices, the blissciplines that we've been learning. And, I lead bliss retreats. This time last year, I was on my way to Bali. I led a bliss retreat there. I led 2 bliss retreats in Guatemala, in Iceland. And so I love leading bliss retreats, and I know that we need them. But I also know that sometimes you can't hop on a plane and you can't leave your family. And so what I'm going to do this summer, instead of leading a bliss retreat in some foreign place, I'm going to do a virtual bliss camp. That's what I'm going to do. So for 6 weeks this summer, I'm opening up a bliss camp. Good morning, everybody. I'm just saying good morning. Good morning to all of you. This bliss camp will be like one of my bliss retreats, except virtual. You'll be able to do it at home. And we'll take practices we've been doing, but I'm going to add a lot more, as you can imagine. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm excited too. And we'll all go to camp together. It'll be summer camp for goddesses, basically, this bliss camp. So you'll see an announcement, but you're the first to even hear about it. I'll open registration. Early registration will open tomorrow. And I think there's 600 of you right now participating with me, and you'll all get that first notice that the Bliss Camp registration is open. And of course there'll be a discount. You know how that goes. I calculated it this morning because I love numbers, and I was calculating and I discovered that if you register for the Bliss Camp with the early bird discount, it'll cost about the same as getting a chai latte at Starbucks every day. So a lot easier than traveling overseas, and it's gonna be so much fun. So anyway, that's what I want to say here at the beginning. So good morning, Sharon, Cassandra, good morning, Yuko, Linda Kay. So today, this day 4, the blisscipline that you're learning today is tapping in resources. And this comes from the original field of work that this is coming from is the field of EMDR. It's not a field, it's a treatment modality, EMDR, which is eye movement desensitization reprocessing, EMDR, and you've probably heard of it. The woman who first developed it is named Florence Shapiro. I think that's it. No, Francine Shapiro. And she is a psychologist who discovered that when you stimulate bilaterally the brain as a person is re-experiencing a trauma, it helps that trauma get reprocessed in a way that they can move it on through. The concept being that when we experience trauma, the trauma gets stored in a neural network that we don't actually have conscious access to, and it runs on its own. Now, this happens to all of us to some degree or another, but in particular with war veterans, this is who she was working with in the 80s. They would have PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and no other therapies were working. EMDR has been shown to be very effective at helping PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Now, I am not a psychotherapist, I'm a health scientist. So I can't do EMDR for you, and that would that wouldn't be right. Anyway, we are not going to do EMDR. But what I'm teaching you today is based on the research. And EMDR is one of the best researched therapies. So, oh good, I see another one. Thank you, Yuko. I'll look at her as well. So I'm today sharing with you from the work of EMDR, also Laurel Parnell, who is a psychotherapist who took EMDR a little further. And I have myself received EMDR, which helped me so much with the repeated traumatic experiences through relationship that I was able to get through finally with EMDR. And the technique I'm teaching today is how to tap in resources, tap in allies. And when I say tap, I'm not talking EFT, which is also a beautiful technique, but it's different but the same, because as you know, there's really one source of healing, and all of these modalities are facets. This facet that I'm teaching you today has to do with bilateral stimulation. Bilateral, left, right, left, right, left, right. And so there are 6 principles that this bilateral stimulation technique is based on. So I want to tell you the 6 principles, and I've modified these for how I experience this. So the first principle is that we are essentially whole already. Wholeness is your true nature. And what I've been talking about all week is the expression of your wholeness is grounded, joyful energy and power and creativity and wisdom and compassion and equanimity. That is your true nature. So no matter which of your doshas, in other words, I talked about Ayurveda Monday, the mind-body types. So no matter which your mind-body type is, no matter what your specific unique gifts are, which we will flesh out in Bliss Camp, but no matter what those unique gifts are, everybody, no matter who you are, when you are in a state of wholeness, you are feeling grounded, joyful. You have equanimity, you're peaceful, you're in touch with your own wisdom, you're creative. That's what we're going for. And everyone has that. This is one of the principles of what I'm teaching you today. That is a core. Second is that within each of us, we have a potential to realize that wholeness. We're not always expressing it. You know what I mean? And we talked about that Monday too, that sometimes we're expressing the out of balance part of ourselves. We're anxious, or we're irritated, or we're depressed. That happens to everybody. But our wholeness wants to express. The way I think of it is the way, it's when you look outside, and I'm looking out right now, it's pretty cloudy. But behind those clouds is the sun. And that sun is always there. So in actuality, it's always a sunny day, but sometimes the clouds are in the way. Just like you're always whole, you're always grounded and joyful and peaceful and compassionate and all of these things. You're always that deep inside, but sometimes there's clouds in the way. And the technique we're going to use today is going to help move the clouds. That's what we're doing. Third principle is that within each of us, we have a reservoir of positive experiences. Everybody's had positive experiences. At some point in your life, you had nurturing people, maybe a parent, maybe a teacher, maybe a neighbor. You've had nurturing experiences, nurturing people. You've had positive experiences all through your life. And those memories make us feel safe and loved and joyful. They make us feel awe and inspired. These memories we have make us feel courageous or peaceful. We can all find memories. They're stored in us. They're stored in our bodies. And the problem is we don't always pay attention to them. We don't give them much attention. I was on my walk this morning, and I live in Austin, Texas, and I walk on a beautiful trail. And as I was walking, I noticed a bunch of debris. And then I noticed there were gorgeous wildflowers right in front of the debris. But I saw the debris first. Kind of human nature. Same thing with our positive experiences. We have stored positive experiences, but for whatever reason, we don't focus mostly on them. And when we get triggered, if I say the word triggered, I got triggered. When we get triggered, it's generally not a positive one. Generally, we get triggered with the others. And so that's principle number 4. We do have unpleasant experiences as well stored in us. And when they get triggered, it creates sort of a life-limiting effect. These memories create a constriction in us. And when we experience those constrictions in us, and then we criticize ourselves for that, it makes it worse. So that's principle number 4. I think you know what I'm talking about. So I'll just give an example. If you have a memory ever of being humiliated, this is one that is not active in me at all anymore, but I can recall it, that when I was in 2nd grade, I forgot to wear green on St. Patrick's Day. And on St. Patrick's Day, I always had my piano lesson one day a week before school. And so on those days of piano lessons, I walked in just before the bell rang. I wasn't late, but I literally would walk into my classroom just before the bell rang, which means I didn't have time to just hang out in the playground and play with everyone before I went in. I would have noticed I didn't have on green. Somebody probably would have given me one of those little construction paper green clovers and I could have pinned it on my clothes. None of that happened. So I walked in to my 2nd grade classroom as the bell rang with no green on, and the entire classroom started laughing at me. Now, it doesn't seem like a big thing, but in my body, that humiliation memory was stored. And I didn't think it was a big deal, but when I started doing public speaking, the first time I walked out onto a stage, and it had that similar feeling to it, like everybody was already there in their seats, just like my 2nd grade classmates were already in their seats. And I walked out on the stage and I just went inside. I just O's. And I had to have somebody help me recover that memory and bring it up and process it. All that needs to happen is those memories need to come to conscious awareness so that we can process and move them on. Generally, that's all that needs to happen. Sometimes something bigger. But this is what I'm talking about, that we all have these stored memories, and they can sometimes capture us and run our system. So that's number 4. Number 5 is that we have inside of us a natural healing system that, when accessed and activated through bilateral stimulation, can restore us to balance. Isn't that great? So we're going to do it today. We're going to do a little bit today. Now, nobody knows exactly why this works, and so I've looked at the data. You can also look. Different theories are out there. We can't say why it works. One of the theories is that the rhythm itself. So I'm going to have you tapping. This is one of the ways. You put yourself in a butterfly hug and you tap your shoulders. I do it just on my knees. You can't see my knees, but you can imagine I'm tapping my knees. Right, left, right, left. You can do this, right, left, tapping, right, left. And one of the theories is that just the rhythm is so soothing that that's it. I don't think that's all, but that's one of the theories. Another theory is that it reminds us of our mother's heartbeat when we're in the womb, the bump, 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 and that all starts to relax our nervous system. The EMDR researchers believe that when we do bilateral stimulation, the left-right brain starts moving back, left, right, left, right. In EMDR, they actually use the eyes moving across like this, or they stimulate the ears bilaterally with sound, or tapping on the body, or touching the hands right, left. But they believe that right, left starts to put the brain in the same state as REM sleep or dream sleep. And it's in that REM state that we're able to pull up memories from the unconscious and bring them into a place where they can be integrated and assimilated and healed. So what we do know is that bilateral stimulation magnifies whatever you're imagining. And that's what we're going to use today. We're not going to pull up the negative memories. I would recommend you work with a therapist to do that, because when you bring the negative memories, it can re-trigger you. And the therapist will know how to go about that gently and gingerly and carefully and in a nurturing way. And therapists will be there in case you get triggered. We're not triggering negative. We're going to use this same science of bilateral stimulation to pull up positive memories, which is number 6. I told you there were 6 pillars or 6 beliefs that will make this work. And the 6th one is that we can access and strengthen and integrate our wholeness and our reservoirs of positive memories by using bilateral tapping. Isn't that exciting? So when I work with people, and I see Jody. I'm so glad you're here. And Jody's here, and Linda Kay is here. If you guys want to just comment on what it was like for you, because I taught this at the last retreat that I led, and I'm going to teach some of it to you here today. What I want to say right away is make sure that you've signed up at drdebkern.com/kickstart, because I am teaching it to you in this format today, but this is not the best format for me to give you the full experience. The best format would be for me to guide you through this verbally, when you can be in a very quiet space. And I think some of you guys are driving. I can see by the way it's coming through on Facebook. I don't want you to do this while you're driving. I want you to be in a really quiet space. So when you put your name and email into that, drdebkern.com/kickstart, what I'll do is in the guidebook, and I'm going to send it out tomorrow, I'm actually going to recording for you a process on how to recreate one of your resources. The 4 main resources that I guide people through, and I'm going to give you one of them in the guidebook. The first one I will give you is how to create a safe space. And it's very similar to what we did Tuesday on day 2, which was we went to our magic garden, and the magic garden could be like a safe space. But in this case, this is sort of amping up the volume on making this memory in your physical body. So how it works to create a safe space and use it therapeutically for yourself. You can use it preventively, and you can use it in the middle of a situation where you suddenly feel anxious. You notice that you're just feeling anxious or off kilter or off balance. You can instantly recall your safe space once you've created it in your whole body and mind. I'm going to walk you through it briefly here, but I'm going to send it to you in an email tomorrow with my voice recording longer, so you have a process. Here's how the process will go. Of course, you'll breathe deeply, 4 counts in, hold 4 counts, and exhale 4 counts to start letting your parasympathetic nervous system come up, your sympathetic nervous system go down. Then I will have you imagine a place that makes you feel so peaceful. And for some people, the word safe place triggers the feeling of not safe. Sometimes just the word safe makes us think the opposite, not safe, and it's hard to even find it. So change the word from safe to peaceful. Change it to a peaceful place. But what you'll want to do is create in your mind's eye, however you do, a beautiful, peaceful, calming, safe place. Then, and I'll guide this through you on the recording I'll send you tomorrow. Make sure you give me your email so I can do that. What you'll do is not only imagine it in your mind's eye, but you'll start to activate all your senses. The more of your senses, your 5 senses, you involve in this process, the stronger the response will be in your entire being. So you'll imagine what you can hear. You'll imagine the breeze or what you can feel. You'll imagine things you can smell. You'll imagine what you see. You'll imagine just the sense in either your body, the weight there. You'll imagine with all of your senses possible this safe place. And as soon as you can feel it, that's the kick. As soon as you can feel yourself in your safe place, you'll begin tapping. So I don't think you can see me, but imagine my knees here. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. You'll begin tapping. Left, right. No more than 6 to 8 times. Just left, right, left, right. Feeling and breathing yourself, imagining the safe place, you tap left, right, left, right. After 6 to 8 taps, notice if you're still feeling really good and expansive. If for some reason you've slipped into a feeling of trauma or unease, stop the tapping, give it a break, and come back again to create a safe place. Some of us have levels of trauma that it takes us a while to even just get the safe place. It's still worth doing, because you'll get to the time where you'll be in your safe place, tapping just left, right, on your thighs, or this is called the butterfly hug, tapping on your shoulders, left, right, left, right, left, right, 6 to 8 times, and notice if you're feeling good. If you're feeling good, still, you can keep expanding it and feeling. And as you're tapping, your imagination may get engaged and more things may appear. Maybe butterflies appear. I know for me, my safe place now has an entire magically the other day a crystal chapel appeared and light beams come through my crystal chapel, and there's a waterfall over here, and there's a field of flowers, and my safe place has become quite the place. And it's because I've been using this over and over. And times I use it are, recently I was in a social situation. I don't know if this happens to you all, but sometimes I'm in social situations and I don't even know the trigger. I'm scared is all I can say. I'm just scared. I don't know what I'm afraid of, and I don't have time to analyze everything. That's what I want to say. So I don't analyze everything. I just notice, oh my gosh, I'm walking into this situation with all these people and I'm feeling afraid. And I know that if I feel afraid, for whatever reason, I'm not even going to analyze it, I'm going to be constricted. It's life limiting. And if I want to enjoy myself, and if I want to be a joyful presence on the planet and just share my love, I can't do it if I'm afraid. So I am dedicated to blissciplines because I know that if I'm willing to do these practices, bring myself back into a state of feeling joyful and grounded, not only is it good for my health, but the other people I'm going to meet today are going to feel better, because you saw the picture on Tuesday of our energetic field. I will be giving that energetic field off if I'm in my happy place. So on my way into this situation, I was walking. So I just used my hands on my thighs to be the tapping left, right, and I put myself in my safe space. And by the time I just got to the crowd of people, I was fine. So you can use it just like that. This is tapping in your allies, your resources. So this is where I'm going to stop in terms of instructions today. I'll tell you what the other allies are. These are the ones I led in the retreat, and some of you I see are commenting. Oh, thank you, Marlisa, for commenting. It helps people understand how they could use these tools. The allies that are really important, the pillars. One is the safe place or the peaceful place that I just talked to you about. And then the next one is nurturing figures, nurturing allies. So what you would do is, in your mind's eye, you would call to mind someone who you consider very nurturing, like a mother figure, very nurturing. It could be your own mother or grandmother or a teacher. It could be Maya Angelou. It could be an angel. It could be a mythical figure. It's whatever comes to you as a nurturing ally. And you do the same thing as we just did with the safe place. You imagine them there. You imagine them looking at you, loving you, nurturing you. And then you go through the whole thing again, the feelings in your body. What do you hear? What do you sense? Maybe even what do you taste? One of my nurturing allies is my grandmother, and I can actually taste and smell the cinnamon rice she used to make. She was German, and she'd make this cinnamon rice with kind of a butter and sugar and cinnamon on it, and I can actually smell and taste it when I'm feeling her presence. So that's the nurturing. You need a nurturing ally. And it takes practice. Now in the Bliss Camp this summer, we're going to spend a lot of time really honing in on all of these allies to make sure that you've got them all in place. You can do it yourself, nurturing ally. The second one you need is protectors, a protector ally or allies. So the protectors are people or mythical creatures that when they're with you, you feel protected. The first one that came to my mind, it's so interesting what comes to your mind when you just relax. The first one that came to my mind was one of my son's swim coaches from high school. Just his presence. He would stand there and you would feel like totally safe. I would feel like if he were there, it's Coach Paul. I call him Coach Paul. If Coach Paul were there, nothing bad could happen. That's the feeling he gives off. He protected the kids that way. He was fierce, integrity, strong. And so I imagine Coach Paul in all kinds of situations. And I've told him about it, so I can say that. I texted him once and said, just so you know, you're my protector ally. And he just said, that's so sweet. So it doesn't have to be someone you know very well. I don't really know Coach Paul that well. It could be imaginary, but you need a protector ally, and you need to practice with them in advance of something happening so you can call on it. And then the last one is your wisdom allies. So figures, or mythical or real, that you think of as very wise, because when you call them in, you actually tap into your own wisdom. You feel more secure in your own wisdom. And again, the process is you call in the ally, you feel them, you feel the presence. This takes time, more than what I'm taking on this instructional video. It takes time. And as soon as you feel the feeling, you begin the bilateral stimulation, left, right, left, right. And as you do that, you check in after 6 to 8 times. And if you're still feeling good, you keep on going. You can expand. If you don't, you take a break and start again later. So that's what I wanted to teach you. This, even though this is so simple, it's super powerful, tapping in your resources and your allies. And so I want to take questions and see if anyone has any questions for me. I'm going back way to the beginning so I can say, hi Leah, hi Ashley, Linda K, Cassandra, hi. Thank you for the hearts. Hi Yuko. Oh, it's so funny. That was a friend you were talking to. Got it. Sharon. Oh, good, Sharon. Marlisa. Hi, Karen. I'm just saying hi to everybody. I'm looking for questions. Hey, Wendy. I know that sun metaphor. It seemed like to me. Hey, Jody. Oh, thanks for sharing that with everybody. Thanks, Jody. Hi, Dorinda. Oh, Dorinda, did you sleep better last night? If you're still here, I'd love to know. Because this, Dorinda, I was thinking about you because you asked about sleeping. A great ally to tap in just before you go to sleep is your nurturing ally. So just as you're lying down, you would lay back in bed and just close your eyes and bring in your nurturing ally and tap them in. See if that'll also we're boosting all of your practices for a good sleep. Hi, Nusa. Dawn. Hi, Gina. Oh my gosh. Hi, Liz. Hey, Dana. So I don't see any other questions, but I'm going to wait just a moment. And just remind you to make sure that you've put your email in there, because I'll be sending a recording. I'll guide you through the longer process of finding your safe place. And then consider coming to camp with me. Camp is going to start June 13th. It'll go June 13th to July 25th. And it's going to be so fun. It's virtual, of course. So I have an online camp. I call it online camp. You'll be able to join in. We'll dance, and we'll be doing more of the allies. We're going to do a lot of Ayurveda so that you really feel you can integrate your perfect mind-body type things. And so the next bliss is going to be summer camp this summer. And then the next bliss retreat is Guatemala in October and November. And I think I have 4 spaces left. So I should tell you guys about those things, huh? I'll tell. You can go to my website. I think it's there, I hope, drdebkern.com. I'll make sure you know. If you've given me your email for this course, I will make sure that you know when the next Bliss retreat is, which is in Guatemala in October, November. But Bliss Camp this summer is going to be fun, y'all. So I hope I see you then. Oh, let's see. Here we go. I want to see here's your sleep. Dorinda used Lang Lang because you didn't have lavender. And did you soak your feet? Okay, that's good. Soaking your feet is good. Yay! Yay, everybody! Okay, well, Dorinda, I hope you sleep well tonight. Try adding in the resource of a nurturing figure. And I just thank you all for coming and joining me. This is an amazing use of technology. I'm grateful. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.